They got the water guy. Oh, no. Oh, he drew the short straw, dude. Oh, either that or he's the new recruit. So, if you don't live under a rock, obviously, you should know about all of the anti-trans, anti-queer, whatever you want to call it, movements that have been going on throughout the country. Recently, we had a shooting at a queer bar known as Club Q. Unfortunately, people did die, people were injured, and it was not great. That didn't stop the conservatives, though, from blaming the leftists. So what should we see after that, except the movements against queer people increase, right? Very cool stuff. The conservatives have yet to come out against it. In fact, many of them seem to be supporting it. So let's take a look at what's going on here. First and foremost, I want to remind you guys, when someone tells you who they are, believe them. I like this post a lot. This was at CPAC. We are all domestic terrorists. Feels like we shouldn't gloss over the fact that CPAC put a massive banner over their stage and said we're all domestic terrorists. Very good take. Don't forget. They said it themselves, okay? Matt Walsh, for instance, also has a, theocratic fascist label in his description. Believe him, okay? He's telling you the truth. He's telling you who he is. And he'll say, oh, it's a joke. It's a joke. No, they're in the point of meta irony, okay? They'll tell you it's a joke while also completely being the thing they say they are. Okay, they're indistinguishable. This was in response to this. A group of Christo-fascists has shot at the power substations in Moore County to shut down a drag show happening in town. 40,000 residents are without power. People who need to power for medical devices, families who need to stay warm, plunging a community into darkness. A terror attack. Here's a statement from the sheriff's office. Moore County Sheriff Ronnie Fields reports that the mass power outage across the country is being investigated as a criminal occurrence. Just after 7 p.m. on Saturday evening, December 3rd, 2022, several different communities across Moore County began experiencing power outages. As utility companies began responding to the different substations, evidence was discovered that indicated that intentional vandalism had occurred at multiple sites. Moore County Sheriff's deputies and various other law enforcement agencies within the county responded to the different areas and are providing further site security. Anyone with information can do that, blah, blah, blah. You get the point. So, not great, right? Not very good, not very pog. Okay, let's take a look at how this was allegedly a neo-Nazi plot. And when I say allegedly, I mean almost certainly. Neo-Nazi plot to disable power grid allegedly included attacking substation in Colorado. Xcel Energy has acknowledged to CBS 4 it is aware of an alleged plot to disable the nation's power grid, which included a possible attack on an El Paso County substation. The FBI is investigating a neo-Nazi group that is believed to have been planning an attack on the United States power grid. The plot was being called Lights Out. One of the targeted structures that is mentioned is outside of Colorado Springs. It's called Midway and is operated by Xcel. The information is contained in a search warrant affidavit that was accidentally unsealed in federal court in Wisconsin. The warrant is to seek information on a cell phone number from the telephone company service provider. The affidavit details an alleged plot naming 3 people who have not been charged so far in this case. It was reviewed by CBS 4 investigator Rick Salinger on Sunday, December 13th. The next day, the warrant was resealed and no longer opened to public viewing. It says the plot is to disable power substations in southeastern United States and in El Paso County, Colorado. The affidavit cites an informant as claiming the target date to carry out the attack was to be for 2024, but sooner if Donald Trump was to lose the 2020 election. So they've been planning this, it would seem. This has been a while. Plot in the making. There have been 2 separate incidents of fascists. I believe, let me see. I know that there was at least one in North Carolina. This seems to be a different one that they're investigating right now. So I don't know if they actually carried out the one in Colorado, but I know that they did in North Carolina. The request for a search warrant says the plotters consulted an online U.S. Department of Energy website that detailed the power grid and power stations critical to it. The informant told law enforcement that the group planned to fire rifles into the power facilities. The court document states those under investigation reference the white supremacist group Adam Waffen. That is a very lame and on-the-nose name, I must say. The Southern Poverty Law Center describes the Adam Waffen Division as organized and as a series of terror cells that work towards civilization collapse. It adds that their strategy can be traced back to the Order in the 1980s. Jesus Christ. In 1984, members of the Order carried out a series of crimes as part of a plot designed to overthrow the U.S. government. Among the acts of which members were convicted was the killing of KOA radio talk show host Alan Berg. He was shot to death in the driveway of his Denver home. Jesus Christ. Spokesman for the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Eastern District of Wisconsin acknowledged the search warrant tied to the Lights Out plot, but would not comment further. Michelle Aguayo, a spokesperson for Xcel Energy, issued a statement to CBS 4, which says, keeping the grid safe is priority for Xcel, blah, blah, blah. We get it. So yeah, white supremacy groups just go ahead and, neo-Nazis are just attacking power grids now. Now, I don't know the exact reasoning that they gave for why they attacked the power grids. Evidence, let's see. Okay, I'm pretty sure that it was because of the drag thing, right? Like it was a drag queen event or a drag story hour or whatever, and they wanted to like cancel it. Is that right? I hope the drag show still took place. Yeah, so they were targeting a drag show, which is, very normal. You cut off the power for an entire region to stop a singular drag show, risking the literal lives of people, including children, by the way. These people are not pro-child. These people don't care about the safety of children. If they did, they wouldn't have shot at a fucking power station because, those things power devices that are crucial to sustain life. Okay. And I'm not just even talking about life support because usually at least hospitals have backup generators. I'm talking about refrigerators that keep your insulin cold, right? Something that is necessary for people with diabetes. Or refrigerators, shit, they just hold your food, right? You kind of need those. So, I hope you don't mind kids going hungry as long as they're not going to drag queen story hour, I guess. Yeah, people on oxygen. Like I said, hospitals tend to have backup generators targeting a drag show. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. That's why it's in this segment. The original thing that I wanted to talk about, the reason I'm talking about this at all, besides it being, a national crisis, is Alejandra Caraballo. How do you pronounce that? Caraballo? Sorry, I'm butchering it. But anyway, she posted. I'm doing great today. These are the people who showed up outside a drag show in Columbus, Ohio, and caused it to be canceled. This is terrorism. Where's the DOJ? This is a clear violation of civil rights by neo-Nazi orgs. So let's take a look at a video showing these lovely gentlemen in action. There's the boys. Good. Giving a nice handshake. Good. What is this dinky shield supposed to do? What are these made of? Would these do anything? I feel like the bullet would just penetrate it, right? Like if you were, in theory, to shoot at it. I'm not saying that you should at all. Don't do that. But it's cosplay? Yeah, I figured. It's supposed to terrify you. They look like they're cosplaying as like Lumberjack Assassin's Creed is what it looks like. Or like a character from, what's the game called? The Side Fighter? Like Mortal Kombat or something? I don't know. It does not look terrifying at all. Like you look like a dork. That's right. Proud to serve our country, sir. Gotta shut down the drag queen shows. Protect our kids.
There's only a small amount of idiots out there, so.
They got the water guy. Oh, no. Oh, he drew the short straw, dude. Oh, either that or he's the new recruit. The water guy. I want, God, how funny would it be if he were like actually carrying like a tank of water on his back? The water boy. Yes, dude. Oh, man. And the camera guy in the back got to be recording it all. Very nice, very nice.
Onward to victory.
The tactical forward water operator. Man. They're going after our water boy. Shields up, men. It's like the dopey plastic shields and it just doesn't do anything. That'd be great. So yeah, these guys managed to cancel a drag storytime event in Columbus, Ohio. This happened only a few days ago, December 3rd, from the time I'm recording, which is December 5th. More video from Saturday is in Columbus is up now. I did not see this. Let's take a look. Oh, this is 30 minutes. We can't watch all of this. We'll just take a look at some of the stuff going on here. Okay, so we've got the counter-protesters. Or no. These aren't counter-protesters, because you'll see some of these signs say, we're the good gays or something. So, the guys carrying the rainbow flags were not on our side. They're the LGB Alliance, the Gays Against Groomers Alliance, and they are completely a psyop. They're not really, most of them aren't even queer. We are everywhere. We got the smiley face there, very intimidating. Amish lives matter? What? Very cool. This guy in particular looks like a Far Cry antagonist.
We will not comply! We will not comply! We will not comply!
Some of those guys were like, we're not.
Oh, I've never seen the light blue. Very nice.
Organized with you guys. Okay, cool.
I can't hear him.
Okay, right.
So they're just in like a residential neighborhood, by the way, with like their guns and shit. I can't hear it at all. What are they saying?
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, hey, look, we don't have any problem with you guys being out here. Just make sure that you're practicing, safe firearms. Everybody's.
Oh, good. Glad to hear it.
I don't have any issue with that. The big issue that we want to make sure is that we're allowing the flow of traffic.
Stop grooming children. Stop it. Stop reading them storybooks while you're wearing a dress and makeup and stuff. That's grooming.
Them getting through. So we really hope that everything goes smoothly. I expect that it will. Everybody I've talked to today has been very nice.
18 plus. Yeah, of course the cops are going to be on their side, by the way. Of course. And I was getting to that part next. Fun fact, the local cops refused to protect the event. They were seen all over, chatting it up with their paps. The terrorists, as shown. So yeah, the cops are just like, chilling with these guys because, they're fucking bastards. All cops are bastards, as it turns out. Alejandra continues, LGBTQ people need to start arming themselves if they aren't already. Club Q was just the beginning. We need to protect ourselves from these fascists. This time they didn't murder anyone, but that might not be the case next time. The local community there relied on the police instead of community defense. The police bailed and left them by themselves defenseless. Don't trust cops. They aren't going to protect you. We protect us. This is very true. We saw something similar way back in the day with the Black Panther group, right? They were a community defense. They were very effective, and they were really the only thing that made this country reconsider its gun laws. So community defense is huge. Please arm yourself. Please learn how to use your arms. I have a whole video that I did about steps that every queer person and ally needs to start taking, which I will link right here. Somewhere in the video and also in the description. Okay, let's keep going. So like I said, that was in Ohio. Now I'm an Ohio boy, right? And so I don't like that this is going on. And those who have been following me for a little bit know that I went to the Columbus event, or Board of Education meeting, to speak. And I will be doing so again in a couple weeks here. I think actually next week it is. I got to submit my speech to speak against anti-trans legislation, because this is a huge problem. This is not just a bunch of LARPers, okay? These are real guns these guys are toting around. This is not LARPing anymore. I don't care how soy they look, and they are very soy, all right? Extremely. Holy shit. It doesn't matter how soy you look. If you're holding a gun, you are a deadly weapon, okay? Yeah, this is not safe, and it's not good. Let's keep going. In Texas, it seems that there's a website now where you are able to report drag shows going on in your area. Very cool, very normal thing that people there do is just look up local drag events to completely, just report them and get them shut down. Very normal. Definitely much going on in their lives. They're very, very busy lives. And it's good that they would take the time out of their very busy schedules to, sit down and report the drag events. Well, these people are definitely dangerous. Most of the time they end up shooting themselves in the foot or accidentally shooting fascist buddy in an argument. Yeah, I know, but I still would. They're still dangerous. It's all coalescing at the same time. You have Trump calling for disbandment of the Constitution. I did see a little bit about that, but we're not talking about that right now. But that is interesting. So what is this website? Now, most people who tried to enter this website will not be able to get in. However, I did, using the power of a VPN. You too can get onto this website using a VPN. I do not have the VPN active right now, but I think since it's already detected my browser, I kind of broke the site a little bit. Usually there's pictures right here. It doesn't fucking matter, okay? Biden, I'm pretty sure Biden got the W. But it doesn't matter. The pictures are out here, whatever. The important thing is, it's got a link to report the drag events. You can join them, of course, which I do not recommend doing. Nor do I recommend clicking the report button and pulling this up. It is rumored that you can paste the entire B-movie script here. According to all known laws of aviation, there's no way a bee should be able to fly, blah, blah, blah. Now, that is, of course, if you wanted to do this. Guys, don't crash their website. Don't do that. Don't do that. Seriously. You can get to the website here. You can check them out, right? If you have a VPN and you get into a Texas area, you can definitely check them out. Don't put a name that looks legit but is actually fake. Don't put a copy pasta there. And definitely don't do this. Definitely don't do this. How to produce an effective false positive. Plausible name, real email that won't bounce, specifically for trolling. Group signaling, less is more. Real address from Google Maps, which doesn't post a phone number or for easy verification. Reason why verification is hard. Plausibly good faith signaling. Professional, polite, but to the point. Specific date and time, short enough to not verify, long enough to get a mob. Light touch of conspiracy. Yeah, guys, come on. Come on now. Guys, don't. I'm telling you what you should not do. Don't crash their site, guys. That's bad. Don't do it. Very bad. And even if you wanted to do it, you need a VPN anyway. I think incognito works well. Okay, there you go. Matt Walsh lives in Texas. I think I can report him as a G word. Nice. I mean, of course, don't do that. What are you talking about? Okay, so as you can see, we've looked at 3 examples of this kind of behavior going on, this kind of armed behavior against trans people and against queer people in general and against drag shows, whatever. Let's take a look at this video that the Humanist Report just dropped and somebody very kindly shared in chat. Armed Nazis are terrorizing LGBTQ spaces across the country.
Reclaim America! Reclaim America! Reclaim America!
Man, if they don't like it, they should just leave.
You just watched a far-right militia disperse after accomplishing their mission. What was their mission, you ask? Well, to intimidate a local LGBTQ+ event into shutting down. They showed up with guns, and when the event organizers thought that there was a danger to the well-being of people there, they stopped the event. So they won. And this is becoming an increasingly common phenomenon across the United States, not just with armed far-right extremists showing up to queer spaces and harassing and intimidating them, but Nazis as well are showing out in droves. For example, Nazis surrounded a drag show in Lakeland, Florida, and called for the deaths of, quote, pedophiles inside. Also, high-profile drag performers across the country are having to hire armed security guards and plan escape routes in the event a gunman shows up to their event.
So keep in mind, when they say kill the pedophiles inside, anybody supporting the event that is not a child is one of the pedophiles, okay? And depending on how old you look as a teenager, you might be clocked as one, you know? They could very easily kill some kids in there by accident, even if they're not like an older teenager, even if they're, you know, just like shooting in random directions, killing anything and everything that's in their path. Yeah, no, they very much care about the safety of kids though.
And in Moore County, North Carolina, more than 40,000 residents lost power due to a targeted attack on substations. And though the motive for the attack is unknown at the time that I record this video, the sheriff does say that it's possible the power was actually cut in order to stop a drag show in Southern Pines from taking place. And that is one way to shut down an LGBTQ+ event. But when it comes to Columbus, Ohio, here's why the right-wing militia showed up. As NBC News explains, the hosts of a drag queen story hour-style event for children in Columbus, Ohio on Saturday pulled the plug because of what they described as the intimidating presence of right-wing demonstrators. The scheduled holiday-themed Holy Drag Storytime at the First Unitarian Church of Columbus, which runs the K-5 institution behind the event, Red Oak Community School, was canceled at the last minute Saturday morning following internal discussions, organizers said. Members of Ohio's Proud Boys organization and other right-wing groups made good on promises to make waves outside the venue Saturday. More than 50 demonstrators, including members of the Proud Boys, gathered near the church Saturday morning and shouted, chanted, and held up signs. Some were armed with long guns. So they have unilaterally decided that family-friendly LGBTQ+ events are unacceptable because their logic is
and
drag queens
them with
are
violence.
a danger to children. So this dude right here, if all of a sudden you put a wig on him, he immediately becomes a danger to children. That's their logic. All queer people are dangerous to children because by their logic, well, if children are exposed to queer people, then they would know that being gay isn't that bad. And if they grow up to be gay and don't hate themselves, then that's bad. These people want them to hate themselves.
It's very bad.
And some Nazis also showed up a couple of blocks away from the church. And as you're going to see in this video, courtesy of BG on the scene, they were Sig Heiling and they made their message very clear.
Cool stuff. Got the groomers on there. Yep, very good. Fascist symbols, got the skull masks. Cowards are too scared to show their faces. Very good. Very good. Except for this guy. Ah, who's this guy? Wonder if they can, you know, figure out who that is. Maybe figure out who that one is, too. Although that other one may have been a guy just passing through.
Nazi shit somewhere else!
God, they're such soy losers, dude. These guys look like they're in high school. Don't they? They look like high schoolers.
Now, as you saw, they were holding a banner that said groomers.
I'm amazed they were able to stay standing with the wind blowing that hard.
I don't know what the second word was, But basically, the fact that Nazis have adopted the groomer rhetoric by the far-right propaganda.
So they want fascism? No, you silly Billy Willy. The leftists want fascism. Duh. They just want a reasonable country that's free of gay people. That's not fascism, you silly Billy.
And ecosystem isn't necessarily surprising if you know history. Twitter user Primus Gendered shared a Wikipedia entry on the Nazis' views on homosexuality, noting how similar it was to the rhetoric that we see from today's right wing. It reads, the Nazis were influenced by earlier...
The irony of them showcasing a crucifixion flag of a Jewish man who died. You act like these people have any kind of consistent value, consistent moral framework. They don't. Okay, yeah, Jesus was a Jewish guy. They don't care.
Ideas conflating homosexuality, child molestation, and the seduction of youth. Before the Nazis' rise to power,
Additionally, if they really wanted to protect children, they'd be going after Catholic churches, but here we are.
There was a widespread belief among Germans that homosexuality was not inborn, but instead could be acquired and spread. And that sounds eerily similar to what we're seeing the right proclaim about LGBTQ plus people today. Now, this is going to continue to happen. Queer spaces are going to be intimidated and harassed increasingly by right-wing militias and Nazis. And those terms aren't mutually exclusive, but they're showing up. They have their swastikas, they're emboldened, and they feel as if they have support from the community to harass and ultimately shut down these queer spaces. That's where we're at here in the United States of America.
Yep.
Now, I've got one more video to show you where you can kind of see more of the protesters. And to call them protesters, I think is being extra charitable. The harassers. Okay. And you can see some of the signs and what their message was to queer people.
We will not comply. We will not comply.
Yeah, we just watched this one.
We will not comply. We will not comply.
Some of those guys were like, we're not specifically, organized with you guys. Okay, cool.
Yep, police just chilling with the villains. Very good. Does that say Dayton? That does say Dayton.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, look, we don't have any problem with you guys being out here. Just make sure that you're practicing, safe firearms. Everybody's got their muzzle down. I'm happy to see that.
Fucking Dayton. Oh, does it now? Yeah, interesting that some of them just chose to wear the shirts of the towns they're located in. Cool stuff.
We're allowing the flow of traffic.
Not saying anything more about that.
That are coming through, that we're, facilitating them getting through. So we really hope that everything goes smoothly. I expect that it will. Everybody I've talked to today has been very nice, very professional.
God, they're such losers. Go home. Find something better to do.
You talk to some guys.
18 plus.
Perfect. Yeah.
They're reading books to my kids.
Hey guys, all right. We'll be around. Any questions? We're all good.
I grew up in Southwest PA and I have an ex from Ohio. It's okay. Listen, I don't like Ohio either. My toe is so close to the power button again on my whole setup. I need to be careful.
So some of the signs said, we are everywhere, meaning that if you...
Groomers are, in fact, child abusers. If you're not talking about, like, the animal groomers, of course. Nobody is claiming that that is false. But, you're kind of just going in circles there. You're begging the question. You need to define what a groomer is. And typically, they're pretty bad at that.
If you hold an LGBTQ plus event, then we're going to be there. I'm not cringe. You're
the cringe one.
That's the message that they're sending. And
here's the difference between me and a Proud Boy. Besides, everything. I understand that I'm cringe, and I own it, okay? Kill not the part of you that is cringe, but the part that cringes.
Kind of have been doing this already, so it's not necessarily an implausible message. They've been everywhere, not just the Proud Boys, but other far-right militias, other just right-wing protesters in general have been showing up all year to shut down drag events. So yeah, this is absolutely 100% the fault of right-wing propagandists who are claiming that grooming is taking place at all LGBTQ plus family events, even though that isn't happening. No evidence that grooming is happening at these drag shows. But we do know that
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. There is evidence for their version of grooming, because their version of grooming is just teaching children that trans and gay people exist. That's their version of it, literally. And they'll admit that too. Their definition of grooming is completely separated from ours, the real one, the one that's actually useful, right? By the same stretch of logic, and I've been over this, but I'll say it again, by the same stretch of logic that they say we're grooming kids, they're doing it 10 times over. Okay, Christians and Christian ideology is so toxic to young children. At least, I should say Christian extremist ideology. You know, you literally teach these kids that God is watching you at every fucking turn of your life. And then if you so much as lay a finger on your dick, then you're going to hell. Like, that's painful. Take it from somebody who went through it, okay? Take it from somebody who was threatened with hell if I did anything bad ever. Or even things that, you know, some things that just weren't bad. You know, like touching myself. You know, like that shit fucks with you. So that's the real grooming if they want to go that route. But they'll never admit that.
Church does pose a danger to children. Don't see them protesting the Catholic Church.
Haha, I was muted because I was shaking my thing, but yes.
I think that child beauty pageants are extremely creepy.
Thank for the follow-up,
And if
Butterbean.
you think that just a drag queen being around a child is bad, wouldn't that be orders of magnitude worse? Well, no, they're not protesting child
That's a
beauty
great point,
pageants as well.
Morbitos.
I'm not claiming that they should, by the way, but what I'm trying to demonstrate to you all is that this is about queer people. They are discriminatory. They don't like queer people. They think that queer people are inherently dangerous to children, and that's why they're doing it. Their views mirror the views of the Nazis, and because they're being stoked by right-wing propagandists, this is going to continue. And we already saw one mass shooting, so more violence is probably going to happen because this is going to continue to be an occurrence so long as queer people exist. If you have a public space and you're a queer person, this is what you have to look forward to in the future, because the Republican Party has chosen to make you public enemy number one. So yeah, this is where we're at. I want to say that it's shocking, but I'm honestly not shocked by what we're seeing here. This is exactly what I think everyone in the queer community expected. The second we started to see this groomer rhetoric pop up, it's the old gays are pedophiles trope that has been revived.
We warned everybody too.
Applied to everyone in the LGBTQ plus community.
We said how dangerous it was, and nobody fucking listened.
It's just really sickening, but this is America in 2022, where Nazis are absolutely vocal and emboldened, and they want to make sure that marginalized people know that they will be there to intimidate you if you aren't scared back into the closet.
Okay. Yeah, definitely go subscribe to the Humanist Report if you have not. So the one thing that I will kind of say about the video that I don't like is at the end, he gave a very doomer message. I think it was realistic, but it's also kind of doomer, right? I think we can agree on that. It is a realistic problem, obviously, that white supremacy and homophobia and transphobia are rampant right now, and in a very militaristic and armed way. You know, these people are going to events like this, waving their guns around, and, you know, threatening people with death if there's so much as like a man wearing a dress or like a wig or something. That's awful. But I do want to give you guys a better message, okay? Because what they want is for us to lose hope. What they want is for us to be intimidated and scared. And you should be intimidated by this because it's scary. So don't not be. But take that fear and turn it into a defensive mechanism. You know, turn it into action. You know, we've talked about this a million times before, and I'll probably say it a million times again. Arm yourself, right? I'm going to link the video again. Arm yourself, organize around your community, go speak to your politicians, go find people that you can trust, right? Know your neighborhood, know the people who live near you, because for all you know, the crazed gunman that's going to shoot up the next queer bar lives right next door. Okay, you have no way of knowing that unless you go talk to them. Right? I do plan to have some kind of event in my neighborhood. I'm going to ask my neighborhood people if they're cool with it, like the apartment complex, because they do events sometimes. And I want to meet some people around here. So, you know, in a more positive light, take this and become a better person because of it. Don't become somebody who's like more withdrawn, because that's what they want. You know, they want you to stay separated. They want you to stay doomer. Go and safely, priority number one is safety. So safely do this, but go and meet people. Go and organize. Oh, you know what would be really good both for meeting people and for organizing and for self-defense? Go join some kind of self-defense class or a fighting class. You know, I plan to do Muay Thai once I start up my job again, because I'm not currently in a job and I'm waiting for them to get back to me so I can start making money again. But go find a place like that. A potluck? Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, go touch grass unless you're allergic like me. Yeah, go meet people. You know, keep yourself safe first and foremost, but don't let them win. Love yourself. Love your neighbors. Love who you are. Don't be scared. And don't let them force you back into the fucking closet. And thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, please be sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already. Click the like button and leave a nice comment for me. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me your beautiful, magnificent gay thoughts. And come join us in the chat right here. And tell me your gay thoughts live in the chat. Maybe I'll read them. Like Sean the Pop. Been boxing for years. It's simple and effective. There you go. Oh, by the way, go follow Sean the Pop on Twitch if you're not. I forgot he's a streamer. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.